So I guess most people's understanding will be that things like Zoom, for example, Zoom fatigue, staring at a screen for a long time, will be difficult for most people taking part to keep their attention and also to keep them engaged in the conversation and what's going on. Are there any interesting factors and things that you've learned with that can keep people engaged?
Sure. I think we're in a slightly different position to where we were back in March in terms of our relationship with our screens and with Zoom and Teams and all of those platforms. Back in April, May, June, when we were checking delegate numbers, we can see how many people are online at any one point. We can see when they join, and more importantly, we can see when they drop off. And the drop-off rates were not insignificant when we started doing this back in March and April. Surprisingly, what we find now is that actually the audience retention rate towards the end of the event is almost 100%. It wavers slightly as the event goes on, but we pretty much end up with the same number that we started with. And I think there's some reasons behind that. We're keeping the events shorter, we're making them more interesting, we're not trying to do entire days. So I think being respectful of the fact that people are spending an exponential amount of time on their screens at the moment, I think we're all getting better at receiving our information, our events, our entertainment through those small screens. And I think that the bigger surprise has been that retention towards the end of the events.